Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Good to have you here with us. Three of us again. And today we do have a very special guest, our dear friend Renata. She's part of the group, but she's not living in Ireland anymore. She lives in Brazil, but she will join us today. We miss her a lot in this virtual moment, allowed us to connect again, to listen her. She has a great knowledge, great background, and we have a lot to learn from her. And hey, it's a pleasure to have you here. We are live now on our Facebook, on YouTube, also on Kardec Radio. Thank you all the listeners from Kardec Radio in the USA. We have an open bridge with the USA now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, see our Don from Chicago. He's always with us today. So
I have to thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And thanks a million. I do miss you. You know that. You know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's a pleasure to be here. I hope I can help. So please count on me.
Yeah. We're pretty sure you can help. And your value contribution to this. As I said to Renata on our briefing, she now is in trouble because this is the first one of many will come. So, okay. So, today's topic is enemies, hidden enemies. Okay? And before I start with a short message, I'd like to ask if Ned can do a final prayer initial prayer for us. Yeah.
Do you want to finish? We even didn't start yet, Stephen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Let's do our initial prayer. Let's take a deep breath. If you can, close your eyes. If not, you can keep open as you feel comfortable. Let's raise our thoughts to Jesus, to our mentors, special telementors of the SSI. First of all, I would like to thank for this moment, to the good spirit to be with us, that we can connect with them, open our heart, open our mind to receive this message that we'll be discussing here today, and that this moment can be very good and grateful for all of us who is connecting together here. So be it. Amen. Whoa.
Shall we go? Hey, Danny, how are you? Welcome. So, let's read a very good message. It's from a book, Heart and Soul, psychographed by Chico Xavier and dictated by the Spirit Manual. And the topic is hidden enemies. We often mention that external enemies are the worst disturbance exponents that operate to our detriment. However, it is urgent to look at within us to discover that the most challenging opponents are those that we cannot move away easily, and they lodge in the heart of our soul. Among them, the most unforgiving are selfishness, which hinders our spiritual vision, preventing us from seeing the needs of those we love most. Pride, which does not allow us to welcome the light of understanding, daring us the permanent imbalance. Vanity, which suggests overestimating our value, inducing us to despise the merit of others. Discouragement, which drives us to the precipice of inertia. Mental intemperance, which places us in indiscipline. The fear of suffering, which takes away the best opportunities for progress. And so many other harmful agents that settle us in the spirit, corroding us to energies and depriving us of mental stability. For the transformation of external opponents, we generally rely on the support from friends who help us reviewing relationships, collaborating with us in the constitution of new paths. However, to extirpate those who live in us, it is worth only the help of God with the laborious effort of ourselves. Report to our external enemies. Jesus warned us that it is necessary to forgive offenses 70 times, 7 times, and indeed to discard ourselves from internal enemies, all of them born in the darkness of ignorance. Promise us the Lord, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free, which is to say that we will only be safe from our inner calamities through hard work in the education workshop. Emmanuel. Emmanuel, what I have to say? Emmanuel is very sharp, and
I can find in myself so many demons. I was thinking about the inner demons, and I found so many.
I have so many, and to do this talk, I said to them, okay, sit there, stay there, quiet, and I need to talk here, Yeah.
It's easy to find selfishness, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Vanity. Vanity is easy to find as well.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Loads of information, loads of social, how do you say that? It's social media, yeah, social media. And so many of them exposing a life that's not real at all.
Oh, yeah.
But for some reason, we try to reach that level, and it's impossible.
Yeah. But I like the message that in the beginning of the message they said, okay, we think like we have enemies like a friend or a boss or a colleague at work or I don't know, the neighbor, but it's easy to identify those enemies because we know the names. We know sometimes where they live, where they work, where they are, and we can see them. But when we talk about our own enemies, so it means we are making ourselves the problem of our problem.
Okay. But Steve, I just a point what you said. Are they our enemies in reality, or are they just people that we want to blame? Then we say they are our enemies. Because if you really think nowadays, we are not living in the Crusades anymore. We are not like killing, Christians anymore, whatever. We're not like that savages anymore. Do you really have enemies? Most of us, I believe, we don't. We have people who may disagree with our opinion, but we created this kind of, they are my enemies. But in fact, they are not. But we always want someone to blame. Then we create our enemies. I don't know if it makes sense.
Vanderlei, every time I disagree with someone, I ask myself, why did I lose the equilibrium? How do you say that? The balance. Why did I lose the balance? Because of this situation. What did that person do to make me feel like that? So the problem is in me, it's not in him or her.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to find this response to this answer. It's not easy to get it.
Because it's easy to blame someone.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm having this problem because I don't know, my neighbor
Neighbor.
is jealous of me, or sometimes like in Brazil, oh, because that person doesn't like me because they did this, that, or that. You know, like it's easy. It's easy to point the fingers. It's like when you have a glass roof and you're stone. Everybody wants to be a stone, but nobody wants to be a glass roof.
True story. True story.
Yeah.
And at some point, it's much easier to identify what bothers us in someone else. So at some point, the finger that you're pointing towards somebody, you have 3 more fingers pointing to you. And that means, so if I am identifying that Stefan is jealous, for example, I am 3 times more jealous because I can identify that. And that's bothering me. Am I being clear? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, Renata, the most difficult part is to get to this point when you can identify that the problem is you, or why this bother you. Because I think this used to happen with me a lot, and I think with everyone. Now we have a little bit of conscience. We can make this self-analysis sometimes, not every time, of course, but you are able to do this, right? But to get to this point, sometimes it's very difficult. Even now, I have situations that I get unbalanced, like you said. I get angry when I discuss with someone, and just like days or just hours, or when I, when the things pass, then I can analyze the situation and identify. Sometimes can identify that why this, like you said, why this bothered me too much. What this has to do with me? Why I don't like so much this person or that person, because when they do this or that, why the situation annoy me so much. And then sometimes, of course, I cannot find the answer. Most of the time, to be true, I don't find the answer, right? Because it's not easy. But at least, like, I can stop and think about it,
Exactly.
even if I don't find the answer.
That's the right movement.
Yes, but it's very difficult to admit sometimes when you find something like that, or in a situation like that, that you say, no, the problem is not the other, the problem is me. To get to the point that to admit that is very hard.
It is. It is indeed. And look, in the Gospel according to Spiritism, there is a phrase that I don't know where, but there is a phrase that says that we need courage to fight our own selfishness, because we don't need courage to fight someone else. We need courage to fight what's inside of us. Because at some point we know, okay, this is vanity. Okay, this is vanity. So I need to solve this or to do something about it. Okay. But at sometimes you don't even know what you're feeling. So, okay, something is bothering me. Why? Okay, so I don't know why. So it's, and whatever it is, it's still bothering me. It's still in here. I still have anger or whatever feeling that bothers us, but I don't know. And that's the hardest thing to deal with, because it's not easy to know ourselves. It's not easy at all. At some points it's easier, but we need to do so much efforts to reach sometimes. And I don't know you guys, but have you ever been in a situation where the situation is bothering you? you are discomfortable with that, that's, you know that, and sometimes you can find some solutions to apply and try to escape, but sometimes you don't, and you don't even know what to do. So that's bothering you, but you don't know what to do. What you can really do to change that, or you don't even know if you can suggest something to someone. Have you ever been in a situation like that?
Yep.
This time we need to exercise. We need to do the water exercise.
Exactly.
See,
That's the size of water. Yeah, that's the size of water.
Don't fall. Stay there. Yeah,
He
okay.
has the right one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's very typical. Like when people there start to complain about their jobs, for example, you are in a job that you hate, you are in a job that you know you deserve more, or something like this, but you still don't try to do anything else. You don't try to change the situation, but you are just complaining. And you have to. I mean, of course, we don't see that. I will not say it's easy to get another job, but you don't see that the only way for you to leave that place is to start doing something. You feel paralyzed. So I believe jobs or certain relationships, of course, relationships, you have to bear in mind that you have to exercise forgiveness and trying to be kind. But of course, in some kind of relationships, we are in the same situation. But it's harder to know where to move, what starts to do to change. Yeah, I guess.
Have you ever heard a story about a dog who was in, and this dog was in pain?
I,
You heard it.
yeah,
You heard
Haroldo.
it. Exactly.
Yeah,
And the dog will try to find a solution when the pain is strong enough to make
yeah,
it move. So
yeah,
if it's not, if the whatever pain it is, if it's not big enough to make you uncomfortable enough to
yeah,
move, that's hard. That's
yep,
hard
You're gonna
because
stay there complaining.
yeah.
exactly.
That's it.
Yes. And here Don wrote here. Yes, you are clear. We project our inner unconscious onto others and accuse them without realizing we are the problem.
Big time.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. That's it. Perfect. That's it.
You're spot on.
And the other one don't even know that you're talking about him or her and can't do anything because at some point, if something is bothering me, and let's say I work with Nadie, okay? Something is bothering me. But if I don't tell Nadie, what can she do?
Yep.
If I talk to her, then she can do. There are two possibilities here, okay? Nadie can talk to me and help me find a way to clarify what I'm feeling and how I can solve that. Or she can be angry at me and we don't solve anything.
Yeah, actually, that's in the gospel also when Jesus says that if you have an enemy or if you have someone that you have an issue, go and call that person and explain the problem. I don't remember which passage, I'm using my own words, but Jesus says to us, try to explain that person. If that person has some kind of maturity and that person is wise, you may gain a new friend. If not, you go and walk away and keep doing your thing, because that's life. You can try to say, Nate, sorry. If Nate is okay, maybe you're gonna be a friend of Nate. You're gonna gain a friend. Otherwise, you're gonna be living your life. You know, there is nothing you can do. You cannot force her.
Yeah, but, and the secret of this is try to change the way you vibrate. Okay, so we need to see when you see a problem, and this problem is close to you. It's difficult to the other side. But when you put your hands a little bit further, easily you can see what we have behind my hands. So it applies to us. We need to do this with ourselves. So if you think that someone is doing something to you, is persecuting you, is harming you, but you give value to that feeling, more it's gonna hurt you, more it's gonna consume time of you.
That's why we should not make any decision during anger. Because if you try to make a decision when we're angry, probably it's not going to be the best one.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret.
Correct. Yeah, Stephen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and this reminds me a story. This reminds me a story. That is an American Indian. He used to call Sitting Bull. Okay, and he was in a conversation with his grandson. Okay, you know, like the Indians, fireplace, star, night. They're having a conversation. And Sitting Bull was saying to his grandson that two wolves were in a fight, and a terrible fight. Okay, one is evil. His anger, his envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilty, tell lies, false pride, superiority. Rings the bell? And evil. Okay? And the other wolf is good.
You see, the wolves are there. They are fighting outside. Can you hear, guys?
Yeah, the dogs are fighting that. Yeah.
They are fighting. They're the wolves.
Yeah. He's joyful, he's peaceful, he's love, he hope, serenity, kindness, benevolence, empathy, truth, compassion, all this. And this same fight go inside of ourselves and inside of every other person. But at the end, the grandson asked to the grandpa, which wolf will win? And he said, the one you feed.
Exactly. Perfect.
So which one you want to feed? The good wolf or the evil wolf? We always have this because we know that the law of God is question 621 in the Spirit's books. God's law is already in our conscious. We know. We just need to have some bleeps to make it aware of us.
Can I add something here? The law of God is in our conscious, that's for sure. But at some point, we need to build with our experiences, our conscience. So at some point, we need to experience some situations, try to decide, even if we don't know which is the best choice. And then our conscience will be even clearer as we try that. So for sure, we need to feed the right wolf. But when we don't know what to do, try to remember that always the right answer is love. Always.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's not easy, but it is always the best answer. So if you don't know what to do, try to love.
Or try to do to that person what you'd like to receive from that person. Just put yourself in that shoes. Okay, if I cannot love that person yet, okay, but what if I was that person? What do I want? What would I want for myself? If you ask that question,
I have a tip from the Spirit's book. Can I share it with you?
Yeah.
There is a description regarding charity or volunteering,
Yeah.
which is the Spirit's book says to us that charity means tolerance, benevolence, help me here,
Indulgence.
Indulgence.
indulgence or tolerance,
Yeah.
whatever
Benevolence.
else, benevolence
Benevolence and indulgence.
and forgiveness.
No, tolerance, benevolence.
No.
Forgiveness. Yeah.
Forgiveness.
No, I think the Spirit's books. Okay, because I think they. Okay, go ahead.
I won't go for forgiveness. No. I'll stay with indulgence. That's the main word right here. Because if you don't know how to love that person, then try to be indulgent with that person.
Yeah.
And that's it. If that's all you can do, perfect. You're doing right.
100%.
Go on, Stephen. I interrupted.
No, I just said it is benevolence to others, indulgence for the others' imperfections, and forgiveness to other offenses.
Yeah, correct.
It's quite a tip. It's quite it's something we could try. Let's say like that. It's something we could try.
Yeah.
At least the indulgence. If you cannot forgive,
Well,
and if you cannot be good, then please try to tolerate.
But there is a point we need to pay attention here. We are not at the same level.
Yep.
Okay? Some people are more evolved, let's say, and some people are not too evolved. Sometimes you are waiting for that person understand the position, but that person do not have the knowledge, enough knowledge to realize that. And as much as effort you give in order to show that person what is happening, that person will not see it.
Yeah.
So, and this is the moment you need to forgive, drink water, and walk away.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth fight.
Yeah, true.
You know? And you guys, what do you think about? Because we are far from talking here, and we have no questions, no comments here except for Don. So please speak up. Let us know if you are right or we are the only 4 people in the world which are at the same level and understand everything, agree with everything.
Yeah. But one thing that I always try to remember, Renata, and I think it's very important, like you said, I don't like to use the word level, Stephen, because sometimes this can give me a bad impression, something like that. But you're right. I don't know which word we can describe this, but you know, when you find a new word that's not level.
When you find a new the word, let me know, because I think
it's quite different when you use level. Stage, whatever.
Yeah.
But what is good to remember, for example, for me, the main point is like that part that you read on the end of the message today. Know the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
I think for us, like, to know the truth, to know my truth, the main point is I have to know myself. How can I know myself? How can I start? You know, for me, it was the big issue, I think, for many people, I can say for most of the people. Like, okay, I know that everybody say every religion or every how can I say, not religion, but our philosophy. Thanks, guys. Say the main point, you have to know yourself to understand the things and to get happiness in your life and blah blah blah. And the big issue is how to know myself. And I discovered it many of times we cannot do this alone. It's something that is quite hard, you know. For some people, of course, it'll be easier or a little bit easier. For others, it'll be very hard to fight.
And there's no recipe for that.
Yes, and there is no recipe. And sometimes it's good to have some help, you know. And today, thanks God, we have something that is very helpful. It's called therapy.
So I have to laugh here. I see a comment from Don here.
I saw the comment, yeah.
Oh, Don.
I saw that.
It's a good discussion. Keep going. I'm feeding my with some coffee. Oh, God.
Good. And with water.
I'm feeding my wolf with water. He's thirsty, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good done. Yeah, but I was talk about to have a good tool today, you know, and I use this tool. And just when I start to use this tool, I really start to discover few things that I wasn't able to see by myself. It's because, like Stephen said, when you have the things too close, you cannot see. But sometimes when you can see in another angle, or someone can point to you or can help you to find, you will see in a different way. You find this a little bit easier, you know. So I can say that it's something that really, really is helpful, guys. If you are struggling with to find your way out of some issues that you have, you are struggling with problems that you don't know how to deal with, find help. Ask for help. Ask can be for a friend, you know, and that will help you to find a way. If you don't want to talk with a friend because it's something that you're not comfortable with, look for some professional help. We have good professionals today that will help you. And we have things that have a lot of kind of different therapies today. There is more the traditional ones, there is the more spiritual ones, there is like thousands of different ones. And you have just to find one that is for you. Because, like I said, each one is different. Sometimes what works for me doesn't work for you. You know, so, but I'm sure that there is one that will help you, that will be useful for you. You have just to fight. But you have to look for, we have to be open to receive this help. Because it's the same way. If you pray, but you're not connected with God or with the spirituality, you pray, you'll be vanished. You not make the connection because you don't know how. So help, ask for help. We have to be humble on this time and say, I need help to find myself.
Mm-hmm. And what you said is very important, Nate, because when you're not able to do a proper prayer, you say that sometimes you cannot change your mental vibration, you cannot change what you're feeling. So that's hard even to receive the help that you're asking. But at some point, when you're asking God, please help me, even if your prayer is just, please God, help me, you're talking. And the main thing is you need to talk. So if there are some issues that are not properly solved and you don't know what to do with that, that's the main phrase, please talk. Stephen, I was talking to Stephen about the Yellow September just before.
Yeah, it starts today.
Exactly, it starts today. And that's very important because we need to talk. We need to listen to each other. Because when we listen to each other, we discover some things about us that we didn't even realize that was possible, that we had that. Am I clear here?
Yep.
Yeah. And this come across with Danny comments here. She said the main point is we need to learn how to do and don't expect anything in return.
Please tell me how to do that. Please tell me how to do that. Please. because that's hard. That's really hard. It's hard to deal with our expectations. It's truly hard because I know that we should not have these expectations when we help or when we are at work and we help someone that we don't really like. But you know that if you help that person, the relationship might be better. So there is some expectation on that. And expectations are, sorry, not good.
No, yeah. You need to do things without.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. There was a guy here in Brazil, and he was an atheist, or I don't know how to say that, agnostic. Agnostic. And this guy, he's responsible. He already passed away, but he is responsible here for a program that helped a lot of poor people. It's called in here Quem Tem Fome Tem Pressa. Who is hungry don't really can wait. It's something like that in English. And someone asked him, why do you do that? Because you don't have a religion, you don't have a philosophy, anything to really explain what you're doing or to give you reason to do that. And his answer was fantastic. These people are hungry. They cannot expect God or anyone to feed them. So we need to feed them. It doesn't matter if there is a God or not. We need to feed them because they're hungry. That's it. What, Stephen? Go.
No, I'm saying yes. It's easy to do something when you have a lot of that thing. Like it's easy to, like when we see this, someone donate billions to this cause or that cause. Okay, it's valuable. No. But the question is, that person just donate because this is something? Or because that person donates because no, it's part of my budget here. I need to do this. I'm feeling their pain, so I'm putting their shoes. I need to.
You won't like my answer, but I will answer anyway. The main question is not why the person gave that. The main question is how many people was helped by this donation, because people will be, I will say granted, but that's not the right word. People will receive this help, and if this help makes someone happier or make someone feeling better, feeling valuable, let's say like that, but that's not the proper word again, then that's okay, because every person will deal with his or her conscience. At some point, you cannot get rid of it. So the main question, I think, at least that's my opinion, is how many people was helped by that money? Can you get what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah.
And sometimes, as you said, that's not only a question of money. Sometimes it's a question of listening. Sometimes it's much simpler to do it. I remember at some point I was in Dublin at some point there was a girl crying a lot in a bus stop, but she was, and that's not
I
normal.
remember that story when it said.
And that's not normal in Ireland. And the girl was crying so much, and I was like, and I was seeing that, and I was like, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And questions and questions and questions. At some point, I was like, hey, hi, are you okay? Can I help? What can I do? And she talked. Do you remember that, Stephen? She talked a few words, but she at the end of our conversation, she was not crying so much as she was in the beginning. And the Spirit at some point tells us that sometimes there is a loop in our thoughts, and we cannot leave that loop. If someone interrupts and if someone helps you get out of that loop, then at some point the good spirits can have access to your mind and help you to find a way. Sometimes it's not a matter of money. Sometimes it's a matter of trying to look at
Give attention, giving value, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, adding value, yeah.
Exactly. And that's easy to do, to be honest with you. But sometimes we are in a rush and we don't even pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
very
it's
true.
the best answer ever.
Yeah. It's like if you are anesthetizing ourselves with the pain of the others. So we start to believe that the pain and all the kind of all this not downside, but all these these
Other
things
people.
that we are seeing in society, all this depression and anger are normal. So we start to accept that start to be our new normal. And we simply said, okay, he's suffering, I'm suffering too, so who cares? No one cares about me, why should I care about them? And then we start to become, we enter into this circle where we start to don't care anymore. And that's the worst scenario, I guess.
True.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
And we can apply this today, what happened to us, like the spread of this virus is not related to contacts or something. No, it's related to how much you care about the other.
Oh, yeah.
True.
If we think this way, we don't need to make using mask compulsory. You don't need to make wash your hands or using hand sanitizer a compulsory thing. We don't need no, but some countries they oblige or even they pay some penalties because they not do using this or that.
Yeah.
Other countries they are fighting, making protests against. Why is my freedom? Yes, but your freedom starts at this point. You start to respect the other's freedom.
Yeah.
True. And there is Givaldo. He's a medium here, and he says something about charity or volunteering. You're not alone when you do some volunteering work. And
Yeah.
why is that? Because when you do some volunteering work, you open your mind and your heart to the others. And your life's not centered only in your inner necessities. So you open your heart and mind to the others. And at some point you respect, because you cannot really open your mind and your heart if you don't really respect others. If you don't really, I'll say, try to use his or her shoes. But the main thing is try to understand why the person is acting as she or he is. And that's the main thing, because at some point, we need to understand that we are a family as humanity. And it's not because you are in Dublin that I am in Rio, that now I won't care because they are not my family anymore. No, you are my family.
Oh, it is.
And we keep being family. But we are not really, as humanity, behaving like family. We're not really behaving as humans. We need some more, I will say in Portuguese, because I don't know the word in English. I don't even remember the word in Portuguese right now.
Okay. Say Italian, Spanish. We can help you.
Okay, if you're not saying Chinese or German, go ahead.
No, I don't know these ones. No.
Okay, meanwhile, you think that Danny wrote something here about saying. So I think it's not about religion, philosophy, and so on. It's about, again, evolution level. We don't need to go to church or be a spirit to do charity, to do good things. Since I have been living here in Ireland, I had the opportunity to meet great people who don't believe in God or any religion. In some points, I can realize they are so much better than me, and guess what? I'm a spiritist since my 18s. I'm 44 now, and I worked in spirit centers in São Paulo for 10 years.
Perfect.
That's it.
That's it. And the word in Portuguese is humanização.
Humanization.
Yeah,
That's the word in
yeah.
English. We need some more humanization. That's it. So I agree with, it's Daniela.
Daniela.
Yep.
I agree with Daniela. That's something that we need to do, and we only need goodwill and good choices. We need to make good choices. Besides that, I will say something, but if I am really being repetitive, please let me know, okay? Religion. Religion means to reconnect.
Really got it. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
exactly. And to reconnect with something or someone. So if you are not disconnected, you don't need to reconnect. So that's it. Some people don't read religion, philosophy, anything. They're connected and they are okay. I need a philosophy, sometimes even to remember that I need to do my daily prayers, because I do daily prayers. And I need religion for that. I need philosophy for that. But at my needs, I don't, for example, if Esteban tells me, oh, look, Renata, I don't need a philosophy to do that. Brilliant. You don't need a philosophy to do that. That's it. It's a problem. No one. That's it. Esteban, I know you want to talk. I see in your face.
No, I'm just saying we need to put some value in other people. What's the other people opinion is better than mine. No, like I can use I use it happened yesterday. My daughter was she put a dress, and she was feeling pretty beautiful. No, right dress. No, she was feeling good. You can clearly you saw this in her face. And then she went out. I don't know. 2 minutes later, she went crying. And I said, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Oh, the girl XYZ said my clothes colors are not matching." I just stopped and said, okay, do you think her opinion matter? Oh, because she see, but I said, Stephanie, do you feel good? I brought her in front of the mirror, said, do you like yourself? Do you like what you are seeing? Is for you, are the colors matching? She said yes. So that's what matters. Not what the other people tell you.
But at some point, I understand why she did that. Because when you are young, you try to be part of the group. You don't want to be someone bullied or someone who don't belong. You want to be part of the group. And as you get older, you realize that that doesn't really matter. Because remember Jesus, if he was really trying to be part of the group, he would not have given us the message that he left us. And try to figure out, come on, figure out the Jesus life. It was not a happy life in our concept.
No.
Not at all. Oh, no.
Just started joining without know how long gonna time takes, if he's have enough resources to feed, to eat, to drink, like rely on the other people kindness, to give some shelter, to give some food, to rest, to drink.
And always saying what he thought was right and disagreeing with the authorities. So it was not an easy life. I'm not saying, please, I'm not saying to disrespect authorities. That's not my point. My point is, he was trying to do what was right. And to do that, he had to face some things that, to be honest with you, I am not prepared to face, even after 2,000 years of his living here. Okay, so he lived here 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years after that, I cannot face that. If someone says, now you're gonna go and you're gonna be sentenced to death, and I'm like, huh? Yes, because what you're saying is not good and we do not agree with you. And I'm like, okay, I can change. That's me. That's not Jesus. And at some point, we live our mental life like that.
This reminded me, like, if you were in Jesus' shoes, at the moment when you see the nails, okay, I am Jesus, I'm the king of this, my kingdom is there. Thank you very much. I catch everything in the
Bye.
Bye,
That's it. That's
you
know what I mean. That's it. So it's to do the right thing is really hard, because sometimes you won't have friends to say, okay, what you're doing is right, so please go on with that. You won't be accepted by your family. And that's why Jesus sometimes said that if you want to be with him, sometimes you're gonna fight with your own family and with your own friends. And that's not because he was predicting a fight. No, that's because he knew that to do the right thing, sometimes we need to face our biggest demons, the biggest monsters. And this monster can be, for example, facing someone you care, his or her opinion. And if you disagree and you know why you disagree, and okay, so what you're going to do about that? You know that the person is not right, but you know that if you say that to her or him, You're gonna fight, and you won't go further with that. So what you do?
Yeah. I already said this Irish quote here, and I will say again. I love this quote. You cannot make an omelette without breaking the eggs.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But even to follow the truth or to follow an idea, like when you think about Jesus, he said twice at least. He said to one to Peter, the ways that I'm gonna send you, you're not really gonna be happy. He said to Peter, and he said to Paul, so the place that you're gonna go to tell about me and to tell about the truth, my friend, in fact, you're gonna be suffering quite a bit. I mean, using my own words, but he said that. So what he's trying to say, those who try to follow a good way in our society, because we are still more or less savages in a lot of aspects, we are still gonna hurt those because they are different. You know, whoever is different is our enemy because we don't accept yet the differences. Once we become a bit better, we're gonna say, okay, you are different than me. All right, stay there. I'm here, or we can try to talk. We can try to talk sometimes, but we're not gonna be fighting anymore. You know?
And it's so easy to do that, Vanderlei. It's just respect. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
but we are still walking in that direction, unfortunately. You know, but
And
we are better than before.
you are
You
so
know?
quiet, Nadie. What's going on?
No, I'm here. I'm here. Just listen. I'm learning with you guys.
No.
And my internet not start to be cut a little bit. So if I start to cut, let me know, please. My internet start to drop a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm just listening. It's nice, and it's good to see the point of view of different, and everything is so connected, you know. And yeah, I think you have so much to learn, and we have so much to learn about ourselves, about the others. And it's like you said, you use a word that I think is a very important word, that this respect. When you learn to respect the other, you know, then it'll be much easier. You know, but it's something quite hard sometimes, because when you are on the heat of the, you know, in that conversation with agreement with someone, to remember that word is the last thing that we remember. Always, you know, we want to
Once
be
we learn
right,
to
we want to
respect,
be.
Nate, there will be no more
always
wars.
Yeah, you'll be a
Once we
peaceful
learn to
world.
respect, yeah, there will be no more wars.
Yeah.
No need for that. Sorry.
I believe so. Yeah, but we
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
you know, at least we give, I think, the first step. There is more 2,000 steps to do it, or even more. But you did the first one. You know, we are not all of, but I think many people are doing. And yes, and there's so much to learn. Is still so much to learn, guys. And I think it's the main point. I believe that the main thing is like, to start, we have to start with ourselves. Always. If you don't learn how to respect yourself, you don't learn how to respect the others. If you don't learn how to love yourself, you won't love the others. If you don't have the self-knowledge, you won't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
So everything starts with ourselves. You want to change the world? Change yourself. It's what they say, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So we are approaching our time. Can you put something here? I look after two girls. My youngest 9 years old. I think I already learned this lesson. She doesn't care. She uses whatever suits her best in her own way, which means different socks, a lot of different colors. It's so cool because I grew up worrying about what people think, and it's worst thing ever. So it's amazing that your daughter had this opportunity with you. Yeah, Danny, thank you for your kind words, but now it's up to her.
Not yet, Esteban. She's still a little one. Not
No,
yet.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying it's up to her in terms of course, life is gonna beat her a lot.
all of us.
Okay, uh, uh, yesterday was the color doesn't match. Perhaps tomorrow is your tone, your hair color, your nails, your whatever. And I hope this lesson she kept for herself and she can use these when she listen that you are not good enough. And I just hope she kept that lesson.
I learned something from my grandma. She
Mhm.
always said me, when people tells you, for example, as your daughter, and the colors of your clothes doesn't match, to replicate with question, and yours. So always do that, because at some point, if the person is looking at you, it was another girl, right?
Yeah.
The girl was not looking at herself. So at some point, when you give back to the person, okay, so what about your colors? At some point, the person will not look at Stephanie anymore, and she's gonna look at herself. I don't know. It's something that my grandma always told me, and I try to use that.
Yeah. Okay, good advice. I use this. I'll save this for later.
Please.
Okay, guys, our time is up.
Can I thank you? Thank you so much for having me. Thank
No,
you.
because you're gonna buy back more later, more time. So if you say thank you, it doesn't finish there.
Thank you. Thanks a million. Thanks for remembering my name for this, and thank you for having me. I cannot thank you enough. Truly. Thank you.
Now we are glad to see you. Okay, good to see you.
You too.
We don't see you for 4 years.
Years.
4 years.
Or no, more than 4.
More than 4? No.
I think
Five or
no.
6.
Yeah, I think it's 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think for me it's a kind of 6 years, because last time that you came here, I was away. I think I was in Germany, and I couldn't
Yeah,
see
Lady
you.
was traveling. Yeah, yeah.
So
Because
we missed each
you
other.
came to defend your thesis or something like this, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, I'd like to say thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time on delay. Also, Nate, you are giving this hour from your time as well. So, Renata, thank you very much. I'm saying here live. I need you to pick another date that you are available, and then we're gonna listen a speech from you.
Yep.
Okay, so you have time to prepare, to concentrate, to see what you like to talk. Okay. Okay. So some just announcements before we close
Please, thank you
here.
everyone who is listening or seeing us. Okay. Thanks a million.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And let's share my screen. So as Renata said, we are start today the Yellow September. So we will have our contribution, and this contribution is a joint effort among BUS, the British Union Spiritist Society, British Spiritual Medical Association, Irish Spirit Association, and Cardiac Radio. So we will have 6 speakers giving talk all day about life, the value of life. It starts 10 a.m. London time and finish 7 p.m. London time. And from 6 to 7, we will have a roundtable with all speakers. And our dear friend Vanessa Anceloni, Dr. Vanessa Anceloni, will be the mediator. So there is no excuse. I know at 10 a.m. it's kind of 6 a.m. in Brazil, but let's do it. I know at 10 a.m. it's 5 o'clock. We start 5 o'clock in the East Coast. I'm not even come to our West Coast because it's probably late, very late for them. But anyway, that's why it is an all-day event. So I hope to see you there. I hope to join us, and also we will have. Just remind you, every Tuesday and every Thursday we do have our lives from 7:15 to 9:15. We are late already. And on Wednesday, Nage and Tanya Moore both conduct a study group in Spirit's book. Everybody is more than welcome. There is no background, no previous knowledge required. You just need to pop in. In order to log in, you need to send an email to spiriteersmireland@gmail.com, and Nage will reply your email with the link to access the class. It's a Zoom class.
Zoom. Yeah.
Yeah. So, am I forgetting something? And Sundays is our SSI talks. I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's
Plenty,
it.
yeah. And Steven, just to let everyone know, as we said, we don't know, guys, yet once we are going to be back. So once we're going to have meetings again at the Lantern Center or somewhere else, we will let you guys know through Facebook or through email.
Yeah.
Facebook in general. But I don't think we're going to have any date anytime soon. Maybe next year only, but we are depending on the authorities and also the Lantern Center. Just to let
I
everyone
think,
know.
guys, the best answer for that question is we will have our meetings in person once we have a vaccine or effective treatment. Because the place we rent, they will not open until they see that. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
And it's quite small. We cannot have a social distance there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we are here. You have meetings on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So I'm pretty sure one of these days suits your agenda. So hey, thank you. Say hi to your mom, to your grandma. Stay safe in Rio because things over there are not quite good at the moment.
No.
Stay safe, stay well. Okay.
And you too, please take care of the ones you love, please.
I will do it. I don't love these two guys here. Okay,
You do, I know that you do.
You know? And so that's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Amelia.
And that's it. Wanderlei, no, hey, can you do the final prayer?
For sure.
Yeah?
Let's go for it.
Okay.
So let's close our eyes, think about Jesus, and let's say like this: Jesus, thank you so much. Thank you for this moment of study. Thank you for helping me to stay with the family that I miss so much. Thank you for the opportunity of meeting new people. And thank you even more for the Spiritist philosophy in my life. Please, Jesus, bless everyone here and help us always to do the right thing. Thank you so much. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Just stay there. Don't turn off. Oh,
Yep.
Thank you.